Hi, I'm City Manager Ed Zuercher, and welcome to another edition of Doing What Matters, the show where we talk to Phoenix employees about the important work they do to serve the community. Mayor, council member, police chief, fire chief, city clerk. Those are real recognizable titles of city employees, and I'm here today with one of those, our city clerk, Cris Meyer. Cris, thanks for joining me.
Glad to be here.
So, city clerk is a recognizable title, but probably if we ask people what does the city clerk do, they might not be able to recite it. So can you tell us real simply, what does the city clerk do?
Sure. One of the main things that we do, and historically that's been it, is keep the records of the governing body and what they do. So the agendas, the minutes, the records of all that. So we keep all of that. We also help all the departments manage their records and assist them with records management, making sure that they're keeping them long enough. We're responsible for open meeting law compliance, so we assist all the governing bodies, the public bodies, with open meeting law compliance and posting those notices.
Which is making sure the public has access as they're supposed to every meeting.
Correct.
Okay.
Gives them the notice of where it is, what it's about. We also then do the elections, obviously, and that's a big part of it. But that staff also does annexations and coordinates the review of annexation requests with all the departments to make sure it's beneficial to the city to annex that property. We also issue licenses and process that and coordinate department review of license applications for liquor licenses and for regulated businesses. City only issues a few types of business licenses, but we do that licensing. We also then operate printing services, which does design and printing and rapid copy services for internal departments. And then we have mail services, which sends out the water bills and the tax statements, sends out outgoing mail, getting it metered and postage put on it, and then also delivering and sorting mail.
So it's really a support function for city departments, but it's really the underpinning of democracy too. And we just completed an election, which is a lot of work for you guys. Talk a little bit about how you've adapted with elections. I know working smarter has been something important in the clerk's office, and you guys are actually leaders in how to conduct elections.
Yeah, we've done that after every election for decades and try to review things. And I think what you're talking about primarily, the big change that we made a few years ago was take advantage of technology instead of all of the paper. And we went to voting centers. Instead of having polling places and several hundred of them and voters having to go to one site, we put technology into it so that we could look up all the names of the voters and identify where they're supposed to be and provide their ballot and give voters the opportunity to go to any places over actually several days. It saved over $200,000 an election, made it more convenient for the voters, and took advantage of the technology.
And real convenient, yeah, and great work. Now, another aspect is we're standing here in front of a vault, and there's all sorts of interesting documents. I know you've got stuff from back before Phoenix was even a city, something where Theodore Roosevelt signed a document for the city?
We've got some Roosevelt. We've also got Ulysses S. Grant signed the original document for the town site in 1871.
Wow, fascinating stuff. And of course, paper is the mode for them, but that's changing too. How is technology changing your record keeping?
Yeah, it's a real challenge, and the state's struggling with this as well. The issue with the records is that you have to keep them permanently, some of them, or you have to keep them for long periods of time. And as we know, the technology changes so fast that think about now, if you had a document on a floppy, 3¼ floppy drive, how are you going to retrieve that at this point? The point of keeping the records is to be able to access them and read them. And so technology makes it easy to manage and handle them and create them right now, but it's a bigger challenge to keep the backward compatibility to be able to retrieve them. So that's really a struggle with trying to do that.
So we're never going to get completely away from paper because it's the easy access.
And unless they can figure out some technology, a way that's going to survive hundreds of years, no, we'll never get completely away from it.
And last, probably the most famous thing you're known for is you are sitting at all city council meetings and you have to talk really fast.
Yes.
How did you learn to read so fast?
I've just kind of always done that. Some of it's repetitive. You read the same things over and over again and you get used to it. But you want people to be able to understand what you're saying, but you don't want it to take forever either. You got to get through it quickly because that's not the most important thing. It's what they're talking about and what they're doing.
Sure. Well, Cris, thanks for your efforts, for your innovation, creativity, and the great work supporting the residents and the mayor and the council as well. Thank you so much for joining me today.
Pleasure to serve the city.
All right. If you'd like to learn more about some of the great and interesting documents available in the City Clerk office, go to the website on your screen. For Doing What Matters, I'm City Manager Ed Zuercher.